Hello, lovely people. Thank you for watching. My name is Roel. I'm a health and nutrition coach and a diabetes practitioner near Manchester in the UK. And I post these videos to motivate you to be as healthy as you can be. And today, I want to talk about something that I think most people will recognize. It is emotional eating, comfort eating, if you like, eating when you're not physically hungry. So maybe you find yourself standing in front of the fridge or cupboard, looking for food, but you're actually not really hungry. Now, sometimes, of course, we eat because our body needs fuel, and that's physical hunger. So if you feel hungry, your body needs fuel, then that's physical hunger. But other times, it's just because we're bored, lonely, stressed, or we have another emotional need that prompts us to seek out some food. Now, today I will explain the difference between the two, or rather how you can distinguish between these two. And I'll give you some practical tips as well to avoid emotional overeating. But obviously I realise that comfort eating, emotional eating is a much bigger subject, a much bigger issue than I can cover in a short YouTube video. But I always feel that any issue, obstacle, challenge starts with awareness and acknowledgement, and from there you can start to look for a solution and work on that. So please don't think that I'm going to sort out your emotional eating issues in this short video, but hopefully it will make you think and give you some ideas of what you can try to overcome it. Because often the food that we reach for when we are eating, not because we're hungry physically, but because we have an emotional need, tends to be a kind of food that's not really healthy. Your body, when it's stressed, wants sugary foods, and you just want that instant satisfaction from having something really, really tasty, and it's not always the best choice of food for your health. So, physical hunger is your body's natural way of saying, I need more energy. And the signs of physical hunger are that it comes on gradually. So it's not that from 1 minute to the next you suddenly feel really, really hungry. It comes on gradually. Your stomach may growl, which doesn't normally happen when you're emotionally hungry. And you could eat a variety of foods. You're not that sort of set on one particular food, whereas with emotional eating you often crave this particular thing. So it's not specific, you just want some food. And once you eat that food, you feel satisfied. The hunger will be reduced or go away. And when you're physically hungry, it will usually mean that you will have had your last meal at least 4 hours before you feel that physical hunger. So these are just a few sort of questions you can ask yourself when you're feeling hungry. First, analyze, what kind of hunger is it? Do I need some fuel, or do I just want to eat? Emotional hunger is driven by feelings. That's why it's called emotional hunger, not by physical needs. So it comes on suddenly. It can come on from 1 second to the next when something happens, or you have a certain emotion or feeling, or you're thinking something, and it feels urgent. You need that food now. Maybe, or most often, you will crave a specific type of food, maybe like chocolate, pizza, crisps, ice cream. That's often a sign that you are not physically hungry, but just emotionally hungry. When you eat that food, you often eat it quite quickly and mindlessly, and you don't really feel truly satisfied afterwards, because you haven't actually addressed the real need that you had. You just made yourself feel a little bit better for a short period of time. Often you might feel guilty or regretful once you finished. I'm not saying you should, but that is often the case. So this emotional eating is often a way to numb or distract from your feelings, which could be, like I said before, stress, sadness, boredom, anger, loneliness, but it could sometimes also be celebration. So I think a useful strategy is to tell the difference in the moment. So before you grab something to eat, just do a quick check-in. pause for a few minutes and check in with yourself. Are you feeling something in your stomach, or is it more in your head? And ask yourself, when did I last eat? Was it 3 to 4 hours ago, or was it actually half an hour or an hour ago? And if it is more than 3 hours, then it's more likely to be physical hunger. And check your cravings. Are you open to eat any kind of food, different kind of foods, or is it very specific? Is there just a specific kind of food that you fancy? And then rate your hunger on a scale of 1, which would be starving, to 10, which would be stuffed. Where are you? And if you feel below 4, then maybe it is really time to refuel your body and actually eat something. So a few tips then to avoid emotional eating. And like I said, I'm not going to sort out, an emotional eating issue that you've had for years and years here, but maybe just get you started on thinking about it. I often feel when you have an obstacle or a challenge, it paralyzes you, and you might say something like, oh, I've always been an emotional eater. And that is kind of an acceptance of the problem, and that actually stops you potentially from taking action. So it's always good to think about these things. And are you actually in that situation where you just accepted that you're an emotional eater and you just sort of, you suck it up, and with all the consequences? There is a book that I can recommend, which goes much, much deeper into finding out what could be the cause of your emotional eating, and often it goes back a long time to your youth maybe, and it's by Julie M. Simon, and it's called When Food is Comfort. And I will link it below the video as well, but I can highly recommend it because it also has like a practical steps program that you can take, some exercises to go through that will really help you, to give you insight in why you are an emotional eater and what you can do about it. And it's described on the back of the book as a rewiring of your brain, and to re-establish a healthy relationship with food. So you might find that interesting. So tips to avoid emotional eating then. First, identify your triggers. Maybe keep a journal. When are you comfort eating? Where are you? Who are you with? What time of day is it? Can you identify what caused you to want to do the emotional eating? And then you might start recognizing patterns, and that's helpful. You could also create a feelings menu. What I mean by that is you're going to create a list of non-food activities that could help you, instead of food, when you're feeling these feelings. So maybe when you're stressed or lonely or bored, what is something that you can do that would actually address that issue and make you feel better, and also in the long term, rather than the food that you're about to eat that's only going to make you feel a little bit better for a few minutes. So don't wait till you want to emotionally eat to make that list, because then you're not in a mood. So it's best to take some time to think of these things that you could do. Examples could be walk around the block, paint your nails, call a friend, do something creative, have a bath or a shower. These are just things that you can think of. Of course, try and make them easily accessible, so you could do them anytime you need to do them. Listen to some music that you like. There's all kinds of things that you can think of. Then you've got that list ready for when you feel the urge to eat for no good reason. Don't keep trigger foods in the house. If there's certain foods that you really want to eat when you are in that state of mind, then don't have them in the house. If you know you're always reaching for the chocolate or ice cream, then don't have them in the house, because that will make it more likely and easier to choose something healthier if you do decide that you want to eat. Practice mindful eating. So sit down when you eat something. Don't just squirrel it away guiltily. Sit down, slow down, taste it, experience it. That can really help as well. It just makes you think a little bit more about what you're eating. And of course, plan balanced meals, because if your diet's crap, then your body's gonna crave food, and you might not always understand what the cravings are for, and you just crave, you know, unhealthy foods, but your body may actually really need some protein or some more nutrients. So the more healthy your main meals are, the less likely it is that you're going to feel these cravings. Yeah, and even if you do, I think you're in a better position to resist them when your body is well nourished. Handle stress proactively, so don't wait till it hits you, but regularly do something that makes you feel good. And that always makes me think of, is it Heather Small? What have you done today to make yourself feel good? I'll spare you the singing, but it always makes me think of that. But do ask yourself every day, what are you doing to make yourself feel good? Because that's important. When you feel good, you're more likely to make better choices, and you can avoid these stressful times when you want to reach for unhealthy foods. So maybe, you know, keep a little journal, do fun things for yourself. Everybody's different. Have a little think about what could make you feel a little bit more grounded and happier. So final thoughts. The goal is not to never eat emotionally. I mean, you know, we'll do it sometimes, and don't beat yourself up if it happens. Food is part of life. We don't always eat to nourish our bodies. Sometimes we celebrate something, and sometimes we do just want it for comfort or pleasure, and that's absolutely fine. But if you feel that, you know, you're doing that too often and it has a negative impact on your health, then it's a good idea to try and address it. And the more you can tell the difference between physical and emotional hunger, the more likely it is that you're going to make intentional choices that are better for you, for your body. So next time you feel the urge to eat, just pause, ask yourself, what am I really hungry for? What is it that I really need? And if it's not food, then, you know, do something else. And sometimes it will be food, but sometimes it could be a rest or a chat or a hug or, you know, something else. If you find this video helpful, then give me the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, that would be a great honour. And if you need a little bit more help with all things health related, then why not check out my Real Health Insiders program, which I'm trying to establish, and it's in the early stages, so I am inviting people to join for a very low fee just to get it going and to get some feedback. And I'll leave the link down below. It's a very supportive monthly subscription program where you'll get weekly Zoom videos. We're going to do goal setting weekly, accountability, but check out the link and it will be explained in there. And if you have any questions about it, of course, please do let me know. Do not forget to set yourself one little goal for this week, or action, I should say. What is the one thing that you're going to do this week that's going to make you happier and healthier? Write it down, focus on that one thing, don't make it too difficult, and check in with yourself next week to see if you did that thing. And then rinse and repeat, do that every week. You will always have a finger on the pulse and you will always be in action mode. So this is the part in the video where I'm going to talk a little bit about my craft experiences this week. And if you're not interested in knitting or crocheting or anything crafty, then you probably want to hang up now, unless you want to stay till the very end, where I always attach a little bit of footage of stuff I've been up to this week, which I've been really busy this week, but it's mainly been with work, and that's a bit boring to show you. But yeah, I've got a few little things that I will show you. One of them is how I make my kefir smoothie. So if you see that, then just move forward. And if you're not interested in that, then thank you so much for watching, and hopefully see you next week. So if you're still here, then you probably want to hear about my crafting. And so having finished the Guatemala cardigan, which you could see in last week's video, I have allowed myself to start the knit along that Yvonne from Knitting Indian is organising for the Vertices United Shawl by Stephen West. So another Stephen West project. And I do like his, I always want to say recipes, but I mean his patterns, of course. They're so clear, and it comes with little videos, and yeah, I just like the end results as well. And this particular shawl, I already made one a while ago, 2 years ago maybe, and I really love it. Wear it all the time, obviously not now when it's stinking hot, but in the winter. And I really like the shape of it. So we're doing another one, but I'm using way more colourful colours now. I showed you the yarn last week, but I've actually started. So this is the beginning of part 1, and it's just a stripe, 2 rows of one colour, 2 rows of the next. So this is the green and the cream colour, and the green is from Stephen and Penelope shop, and the green and the cream is just a Rico one, and the green one is from the Mill Region Feindam hand dyed merino, and it feels really nice. So I'm going to later combine that with these other colors that I showed you last week, so it's going to be very colorful. Super happy with that. So if I hold that next to it, I don't know if I've got any other clothes to wear this with, but who cares? I think I'm going to enjoy wearing these bright colorful colors in the winter. So that's one project which is not stupid easy. You do need to pay some attention, but it's not difficult. So a lot of it you can just watch something on Netflix and knit at the same time. It's interesting enough to not get bored, but boring enough to be able to watch something whilst you're doing it, which is great in my view. Then, because I have completed a garment, I allowed myself to cast on another garment, and that is the one I showed you last week, the Kettle Cove vest by Jennifer Brou. And I started it, but yeah, I would like your view on something. I find it a little bit messy. So this one is bottom up, which is, I've actually never done a top bottom up, and it's all a bit messy with all the bits hanging off it, but that's what the bottom bit looks like, the hem, that's the word I was looking for. It's in the colour Gannet from the really nice yarn from Gilead. Is that one, but obviously in the other colour, Gannet. And it's quite rustic actually. It's much thicker than I thought. So what I would like your views on is whether I should start it again. I find it looks a little bit, yeah, I'm not very happy with it. I wonder if it looks better when I block it, after I've blocked it. But especially the cast on I'm not happy with, and that is a little bit my own doing, because it's a long tail cast on, which is just a super simple normal cast on. But with the long tail cast on, I always find it really tricky to guess how long of a tail I need to do the cast on. So I did an estimate, got it wrong, then didn't have enough, had to just take to undo it all again and start again. And then I thought, oh, sod it, I'm just going to not do the tail, but just take, you know, take the yarn just from the beginning and start casting on. You know, just make a little loop here and then just start casting on like that. But I have read somewhere, because first I wondered, well, not first, but a while ago, I wondered, why do you even need to get that tail and then start the cast on backwards? Why can't you just start from the beginning of the yarn and just cast on like that? But apparently that does have an impact on the cast on, how it looks, in terms of how it looks. It's more loose at the bottom, and I think it's also the direction of the stitches. Yeah, and now I just find with this project that I do feel not very happy about the way, but maybe that is the way it will look with this yarn. It's quite rustic. Another thing is, then I started the collar work, and there is no more than, well, so far no more than 4 stitches between the 2 different colors. So I always thought that 5 stitches is sort of the maximum to not catch your float. But I find the floats quite long. Now, of course, it's hard to tell because it's all bunched up on the needles, but if I sort of stretch it out, you can see the floats. I find them quite long, and I'm now also thinking, how will I know when it's all bunched up on the needles that actually the tension of the floats is even okay? So I'm thinking that if I am going to do it again, that I would then also catch the floats halfway after 2 stitches. I don't know. Let me know, what are your thoughts? I don't mind if I have to do it again. It's a 5mm needle. It goes quite quickly, and it was sort of a good, well, I didn't do a sample, so it's probably not a bad little practice before I continue. Yeah, I sort of feel looking at it now that I want to do it again. It's because when you buy nice yarn, it's just a shame to not do your best to make it look as nice as it can do, and I will now know that I'm not 100% happy with it, so I'm gonna probably frog it and do it again. Then I will my accessories. So I always try to have an accessory on the needles, socks and a garment. So my accessory now is the shawl, the garment is the vest top, and the socks are, can you see them there behind me? I've done one with the salvo ball and doing the other one. So that's my sock project at the moment. Then, as if I needed another hobby, obviously I don't, because I already do crochet, I do knitting, I do a little bit of drawing and colouring, and God knows why I felt the need to try something new. What I did, and it's English paper piecing, which is like patchwork, but you use little paper shapes, and you can use, I think you can use all kinds of shapes, but these are hexagons, I think, and you cut the little bits of paper, and then you stick a little bit of fabric around it, and you glue it at the back, and then you sew them together with a whip stitch. So the whip stitch is just where you go around and around like that, and yeah, and then once you've sewn them together in the shape or the size that you want, then you take the paper bits out, which now to me looks really scary, and I'm sort of really tempted to just keep paper bits in there depending on what I'm going to use it for, which I don't even know yet. But I was sort of thinking of doing a journal cover. I just need to look up a recipe for that. But yeah, it's, I mean, you can tell I'm a beginner. It's not super tidy, but super neat. But I did enjoy it, and it's just something that you can pick up and do one and stick it together and just keep, you know, working on it. I've put it in this nice little sewing basket that I picked up in a charity shop for, I think, only like £2, maybe 4. And it's quite cute. It's got like a little pocket lined, and so in there I just keep some materials and fabric. And the good thing is you only need tiny bits, so even if you have a tiny bit of fabric left over, you can use that for the English paper piecing. And then I've got some other bits in here that I use, like the what's it called, the thread, the needle, and some glue. So that was it, craft wise. Again, thank you for watching. Like I said, I will got a massive hot flush again, which I seem to be having every 10 minutes at the moment. It is hot as well, and to be honest with you, I'm a little bit done with it, but hey ho, let's not complain about the weather. As I said before, I've stuck a little bit of footage in from my week. It wasn't a lot, but I hope that all in all you will have enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. I do like doing these videos, and I love all your comments, and to all the new members, subscribers to my channel, just a massive thank you and welcome, and I hope to see you next week. Lots of love. Bye.